Test your might.
Yes? Cool. Alright.
You want to start?
Do you want me to zoom in
You
on
want to
you?
actually start? You want to start for real?
Yeah, bro. He has more muscle in there.
Bro, no one here is going to beat me on wrestling. Welcome to Kevin Langue 2 Story Time. We did a video where we were ranking ourselves, and in the video I said if the video got 5,000 likes, we would tell the story of how Herm got Denny's car stolen. The video got like 20,000 likes as of today. It's been 2 days. So honoring that promise, I'm gonna let y'all kind of take the lead. We'll jump in wherever, but
Because we honor our promises. Why you still got hair? Why you bringing that up right now? Why you bringing up my past, bro?
it's like
This is our
last
past. I don't know that this is all that funny.
No, that's funny. Your side of it is not funny. Okay. My side of it. Right.
First of all, it's important to know
What?
This is one of my best friends in the world. That's the reason we even got into
Right, that's why we
this
here.
story to begin with. Because Herm is a comic, we're all comics, and living in LA is hard to operate if you don't have a car.
That's
That's
first
no
and
problem. Super fast.
Where's my water bottle?
Welcome back to Brown Table Talk, where we are here to discuss the realness.
You do look like Jada's son, so I guess. This
Also
works.
was in an entanglement with August Alsina.
Okay, that's
Why would you do this?
He like being entangled. It's okay.
It's important to note that Herm has borrowed my car more than once because this is my dear friend and I trust him. So it was not a big deal, him borrowing my car. I think I was in Minnesota. Yes.
Yeah, you're back
Minnesota,
now. Yeah.
visiting my family.
You had just left set too.
Just had left. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Mayor. I'll shoot Mayor of Kingstown.
Yeah.
This is one of the most important parts of the story. If you are on the internet, you may have heard about something called the Kia Boys.
Exactly.
Now, Kias are a car that is stolen more than any car in America.
It's the easiest. Those are Hyundai Sonatas, and the reason is that somebody can.
How do
bust-
Wait, I was about to say.
Well, I'm
You knew that really fast.
No, well,
The Kia boys are so big. They have different sectors. They have some in Connecticut. They got
Oh, it's
Milwaukee.
countrywide.
yeah, it's
Right.
like a documentary about it.
And right, the whole document, they steal your car and then they'll put it on the internet
Yeah.
and laugh about it. The whole
All
time
of
you
this stuff
press.
would go viral because they essentially showed you how easy it is to steal a Kia.
Also, the insurance companies wouldn't cover the Kia's issues because it was worldwide. It was
It's a lawsuit out.
nationwide.
It's
Yeah.
a lawsuit out against Kia. 'Cause
Okay.
the Kia is kind of like Aaron, it's vulnerable.
Dang. And gets taken a lot.
Why did I get this?
You should have
I'm like, the IRS takes your checks, man. You can't be talking to me like that.
So first of all, Denny, start with a joke.
I said
So Kia Souls are notorious for getting
Just,
stolen.
yeah. If you don't know what a Kia Soul is, that's that compact car for compact people. It's the one the little hamsters get out and look for cardboard to dance on.
And his big ass in there.
Right, I look crazy getting out the car. I look like a big hamster
But you
getting
know
out
what
the
is
car.
crazy is you do getting off the bus. So
No, I was going to go get the car. He left the house keys so that I can actually go inside and grab the keys to the car. 'Cause you know,
Gotcha.
the keys to the
Okay,
car
that makes
inside the
sense.
house.
Okay.
I think I went to go get breakfast that morning. That was it. My homegirl was having a party later on that night, a birthday party in Little Tokyo. Now, Little Tokyo is like a super nice place in downtown LA. You know what I mean? Like the crime happens, but not a lot. It's not a lot of homeless people. It's kind of affluent area. It's tight, right? I drive to Little Tokyo. I park right in front of I park in front of a lot that actually has a security guard in front of the lot. Also, it's like usually when I be parking or finding places to park, like, and it's mine, I can park anywhere. But I took careful attention to being like, yo, this is my friend's shit. I don't want to get no tickets. I don't want nothing to happen to it. So I'm gonna park in a legal spot in front of somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
and it was my mom gave me the car.
Right.
That's something to know.
Right.
Legal, safe. I'm in there having a great time. I'm at the party. I'm like, oh my God. I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do with the car afterwards. I'm like, I might go to the strip club. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
Your car.
yeah. Well, it's not big enough.
Not big enough for him.
But it means it's big enough for you too, Eric.
Aaron ain't gonna be able to do that.
Aaron got to roll the windows down, put his head out the window, and he gets some sex. Anyway, right? So
You're having a party.
I'm having a good time.
Denny, right? The part with Denny is right.
Nobody understands what I'm putting his.
Oh, I got it.
For Aaron to have to put his head out the window. You understand the position he's in?
Get outside, right? I'm talking to my homies. We all about to go to the party. So they drove too. So they like, all right, we meet you there. I'm like, all right, I'll meet you now. I had Denny car the whole day, so I had like a lot of my in the car as well. Also, Denny left a lot of his in the car because, you know, obviously this is his car, so not expecting nothing to happen.
Yeah.
I start walking over to the car. You ever walk to a car, like a place where you thought you parked the car at, and you don't see the car, and you be like, all right, well maybe I parked it somewhere else. I did that for 20 minutes.
That must be terrifying, bro.
I walked everywhere. I'm walking all around Little Tokyo looking for this car. I'm like, this car not this big, bro. You know what I'm saying? Getting somebody else's car stolen is probably one of the worst feelings because it's like,
No, for sure.
it's almost like, damn, somebody trusted you enough with their stuff,
Right.
and now it's like it shows like, oh, you don't care. You got somebody stolen. You must have been being reckless, you know what I mean? I realized like, damn, I gotta tell Denny this. He's also with his family right now, which is tough because to give this news when somebody's with their family, you know what I'm saying? Like it's even tougher. And then also, I think Denny's shooting Mayor Kingstown, so this is one of his biggest roles thus far. So now to call this man with bad news about your car getting stolen while you on set, and this is one of your, I'm like, I didn't want to call him because I didn't want to fuck up his mentality being on set. But I also knew it was something that I couldn't like hold on to and wait to tell him when I seen him.
What was the moment where you went from like, I can't find the car to like accepting the reality that like this car's still?
Well, first I looked for it, then I went and asked the security guard if he's seen anything. I'm like, hey, did you see a car over there? It's like a white car. I was like, did you see it get towed? He was like, no tow. I was like,
That security guard.
What was that?
That security guard needs to be fired.
Yeah.
no, but literally,
Security guard is in on it.
But he did say it was no tow.
he said he didn't. It
Why
wasn't.
is there a security guard and people are getting their cars stolen?
He not worrying about your car. He guarding the premises. If your car ain't on the premises, that's your fault. So
then you called.
So then I kind of just sat there for a second. I'm like, all right, what am I at least gonna say to Denny, right? I had to kind of figure out what I was gonna say. So I called Denny's phone, no answer, right?
I was asleep.
Right, which I knew. I really actually was happy that he didn't pick up the phone, not gonna lie. But also I was like, all right, damn, I'm gonna have to tell him this in the morning, right? Mind you, I thought about all this, trying to figure out, it's starting to rain outside. So as it's starting to drizzle, I'm damn near about to cry a little bit. I'm about to let out a little tear. I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna know I'm crying. You know what I'm saying? They won't know. It's raining out there. You know what I'm saying? So the rain is picking up.
Walking over, you okay?
I'm like, no talking. You know what I'm saying?
No tear.
No tear. So at that moment, as the rain is hitting me, it now hits me that I also have my iPad in the car. And that's my, I'm like, I do all my compute, everything on that, bro. Like I got a laptop, but your iPad, you can just roll around with it. I got everything on there.
Jokes.
Also, you got Denny's car. So Denny had glasses, Denny had cologne, some other things, but those are probably the most expensive things in there.
That stuff.
They tried to get one off, will you?
Look down.
And then went back to eat. Now he's shaking. I'm about to cry, and then I realized, oh, I gotta find my iPhone.
Really?
I'ma track this motherfucker. It's like GTA. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna steal the car back. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if anybody ever heard nothing like that.
I'm gonna steal the car back.
Hey, this is hood. Now
Right here. What I was gonna do was go to the area, find the car, and then call the police and have the police come pick up the car. At least if I know where it's at,
Yeah.
cool. This was the issue. The car wound up in East LA. I don't want to come at East LA. I would just say that this is not a neighborhood that you're gonna see a lot of black people walking around. East LA is predominantly Latino. I go to the area, and now I find the house where my iPad is at. I catch an Uber there. This is probably like 11 now. I'm like, fuck it, I'm pumping myself up. I'm like, I'm get
Mind you, he's just partying.
Right. It's late, but the area I went to was a little sketchy in East LA. So now I'm like walking around with an attitude, but I'm in somebody else's neighborhood walking around with an attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not much of an attitude I can have. Did anybody see a kid stole? You know, I had to.
But you are a real one.
Right, but I was. It's my friend. I'm like, I'm gonna get his car
Hey,
back.
here's me.
Right. Sleep, not knowing nothing happened. Not finding the car. But I thought I had tracked my iPad to a house that it was at. So I'm standing in front of the house and I walked around the block a couple times looking for the car. I'm like, all right, maybe they took off the car or they dropped somebody else off or they dropped them off and then now they just got the iPad in the house. I called the police.
Wow.
I'm like, hey, I think I found my stolen car. Do you see it? I was like, no, I don't see it, but I'm tracking my iPad and this is where my iPad is at. It's like, all right, well, do you see the iPad? I was like, no, but I'm in front of the house where my iPad is at.
Based off the location.
Right, so I'm telling all this to the police. They said, well, unless you actually see the iPad.
In Missouri though, but in Missouri,
Bro,
the same thing happened to my mom's boyfriend.
Okay, but this ain't about you.
Well, but no, because of Find My iPhone, the police actually went to the location and got into somebody's house. That should still be a thing.
No, they need a warrant to go in your house. So I'm defeated at this point because they're like, yeah, we can't come there. And I'm like, but I'm looking at where my iPad is. It's like, but you don't technically see it. So I'm like, all right, but the car was stolen. So now I'm trying to report the car stolen. So I'm like, all right, let me switch it up. Let me just go ahead and report the car stolen, right? Mind you, I'm hiding in a parking lot behind a truck because I'm not supposed to be in this neighborhood. I'm hiding, I'm calling the police. I'm like, hey, can y'all come out here? It is like, all right, well, are you the owner of the car?
Oh, I forgot about that.
I said, no. They was like, well, the owner of the car is the only one that can put the report.
Yeah.
I was like, the owner of the car is in Minnesota. He's on set. I'm like, I tried. It was like, well, sir, I'm sorry. Also, where are you, sir? I'm like, I'm in East LA. It's like, was the car stolen from East LA? I was like, no, it was stolen from Little Tokyo, from downtown LA. I was like, sir, you have to file the report in downtown LA and you have to file it in person. I'm like, all right, well, can you transfer me? It was like, no, sir, we can't transfer you. You can call that station or go down there in person. I'll tell you a little bit about downtown LA. The police station closes at 5 p.m.
In downtown Los Angeles, the police station closes at 5
So
p.m.
there's nothing you can do.
What Pacific time?
Yeah, this is sick.
You're behind a truck in the parking lot in East LA. The police just told you they cannot help you.
Literally.
The iPad is in that house. What happens now?
Mind you, Denny still doesn't know.
Denny still don't know.
Asleep.
And Herman's having a whole
I'm having a heart attack. One, because this is a close friend. Stuff like this could ruin a friendship.
It's so funny hearing this from his perspective though, because it's like, I know the story, I don't know a lot of the details.
Oh, so you hadn't heard this side?
I haven't heard
Some
any
of it.
detail
Yeah.
like this.
I can't wait till we get into the meat and
Yeah.
potatoes.
So
Sign up to the fast?
go ahead. I'm sorry.
This sauce is delicious.
Did you
Always doing like
that
this,
moment.
bro.
You wanted that moment
And the fact you stopped us,
and looked licked in front of a table full of men.
so you go back to the party.
We go back? No, not to the party. Right here.
Just crying.
Right. I'm the only one in there crying. Everybody else having a good time.
What's wrong? You must really like this song.
Right. Goddamn DMX. So they down there, friends is down there. Again, I walk in sad. I look defeated. Them niggas having a great time. They like, you all right? I'm like, we heard what happened. I'm like, well, why would you ask me if I'm all right?
Oh, because you had told them already. Like,
Well, no, they had, yeah, I was still waiting outside, and once it happened, I had to text them because I didn't have a ride back home. So I'm like, yo, the car got stolen, but they was already on their way to the next venue, exactly. So,
Plot twist, then he got that car stolen too. Sorry.
yeah, all right, but So, pool hall.
And it was working overtime.
Right. For Aaron.
Aaron costing me $1,000 a month just for the extra hours of editing around.
Maybe she hit the car. That's like calling it for real.
So they like, all right, well, I tell them I'm tracking it. So they're like, all right, well, can you still see the location? I'm like, well, the last time I tracked it, I went to East LA, it was moving around a little bit. He's like, well, Herman, one of my homies was like, Herman, if you can still track it, bro, you need to go get it now, because the police ain't gonna help you, and it's gonna take a certain amount of time to do it. So I'm like, bro, I already tried to steal the car back, like it wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? You can tell me and my friends all on the same shit. They motivate me. They like, bro.
It's like a hood Scooby-Doo game.
Yeah.
And also, what time is it at this point in the night now?
So we probably at 12 p.m. It's 12 a.m. We into the next day.
Nice.
One of my homies was like, yo, we're gonna go steal the car back. So he was like, all right, cool, well, I'll drive you down there, right? I'm like, well, how else am I gonna get down there? You know what I'm saying? But I'm also, when he said I'm gonna drive you down there, I'm also not thinking to myself that he gonna make me pay for all the gas. This is probably one of the most expensive nights of my life because I had to catch hella Ubers. I also had to pay, he got a Jeep. You used to have a Jeep. That Jeep gas is expensive.
And this guy asked for gas money?
He asked me for gas money.
What?
So crazy.
But y'all gotta hear where he has to go.
And I actually couldn't be mad at him because when we checked the iPad again and I told him, the car was in Long Beach.
You open up Find My Phone, you open it, and the iPad has now moved.
They done
to
went
Long
to East LA. Well, they made a couple stops. They stopped at a liquor store, they stopped at a smoke shop.
You're watching all of this live.
I'm watching all of this.
Bro, this is crazy.
Cool.
You drive to Long Beach.
Drive to Long Beach, we driving. It's me, it's my homie, and it's my cousin. I tell y'all who's in the car because my homie is the driver, and then we take my cousin because he half white, so he gonna be the one to talk to the police.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Aaron, exactly.
I was
So,
gonna say Zane, but
also,
Cold white.
it's even better.
yeah, we would never got caught with Zane. They probably would have came and picked up the car if Zane called.
You get there, what do
Y'all
you
just
see?
got fisticuffs.
No, we've been listening to DMX the whole time. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Like we on,
You're getting
we on,
hyped.
yeah, cause we on the caper. Cause we like, yo, we gotta steal the car back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all are ballsy, bro. It's 1 in the morning.
And it's in Long Beach.
Long Beach is another place. People
Another
from Long Beach
hood.
know Long
know.
Beach can get like.
Mind you,
Snoop Dogg.
we in North Long Beach or whatever, right? So I don't know if this is the dangerous part, but I think this is one of the places where Vince Staples be talking about. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we find the car. The car is behind like this little cul-de-sac.
Oh, so you see it.
We see
It's
it.
the
We
first
drive by
time.
it. Yep. So
You're
first time I see
seeing
it
the
that
car.
night. Yep.
When you first see the car, what are you thinking?
It's on. I'm getting this shit back tonight.
It's like when Aaron saw Diddy.
Hey. Hey.
It's on.
Hey, I'm like them. I'm like,
Denny saw his first white woman.
He said, give me some.
and I might not even have to tell Denny. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I must be able to steal the car back like nothing. even
Call it a
happened.
day.
Man, right? So we kind of look for a minute, then we go park in a parking lot that's real close to like where we can kind of peep the scene. So it's like a gate right here, then the cul-de-sac is behind that. The car is in the alleyway. Across the street is like a 7-Eleven, kind of standing out front of there. Then it's like a Motel 6 right there. So anytime it's a 7-Eleven, Motel 6, and a cul-de-sac, you in the hood. You know what I'm saying? When all that shit is kind of all around each other.
By wisdom.
There's someone listening to this in a car right now, driving like a podcast, and they're seeing a 7-Eleven, cul-de-sac, and what's the last one? A
And the Motel
Motel
6
6?
shit, bro.
Get out of there.
So again, we in the car trying to pump each other up. And mind you, I told you my cousin is like half white. So I love him, but he get really paranoid at times and
Yeah.
very frantic, like, you know what I'm saying? Like just like very emotional, you know what I mean? Like,
Diddy, they gonna find out.
yeah, you know, like, literally, right? Like he'll pump me up to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like you got it, Herm, you can do it. You go steal the car.
right there.
Right, you're right. So
Some such shit I would do. I'll be in the back like, let me know if you need me though.
no, that's the community he was raised in.
It is.
No,
We get it.
You know, I was the only black kid, side note, at my school, like from kindergarten to 5th grade.
no.
No.
I don't know why you fooling us.
To go and
Hyping me up, go to steal it. Told you we listen to DMX, we hype. Bro, I'm talking about y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
What?
Up in here.
What?
Up in here. Anyway. The plan is we gonna pull in front of the car. I'ma hop out. I had the keys still to the car, so I'm gonna hop out, throw the keys in the ignition, and pull off.
this is hilarious.
So
you're like, I'm gonna run in.
This isn't
start-
hilarious at all.
it's horrible. It's
very
traumatizing.
traumatizing.
But it is hilarious.
It's definitely sad.
We pull up out the gate.
Oh.
I hop out the car.
Okay.
I can go around where the gate at. His car is parked up against the trash can, so you can't see the license plate. Also, the windows is busted. One of the windows is busted. Also, one of the tires is flat.
So you discover that as you get out the car.
I discovered this as I'm walking up to the car, but I'm like, F it. As long as I get the car at least away from here,
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Exactly.
Go in the car. My cousin like, yo man, hurry up, hurry up. I'm like, nigga,
He's in the car with you?
I didn't even get out the other car yet.
Oh my god.
I'm like, man, relax. You just the lookout. Just be the lookout. That's why you don't take white people with you to do crimes. I'm not gonna lie.
That's so funny.
So I get out the car. I go into Denny car. I got the keys. I'm looking around. I'm like, I'm already thinking to myself, the lights is on too. So I'm like, damn, the battery might be fucking dead too.
That's crazy.
Right? And it's nighttime. And then where I'm at, my iPad is literally showing right there, but it's not in the car, which means that the was in the house right behind us. So now I gotta be extra quiet while I'm still in the car.
High stakes.
I'm in that, I put the key in the ignition and I'm trying to start it, but I'm like, why the car not starting? Why the car not starting? The car won't start. I'm like, fuck, what's going on? Why does car not start? My cousin calls my phone. It rings loud as fuck.
Oh my god. You gotta let that cousin go, bro. You gotta let that cousin go.
I answer, I'm like, yo, he's like, yo, hurry up, yo, hurry up. I'm like, Mark, I'm trying to steal the car back. I'm sorry.
I know you was furious.
I was heated. I wanted to get out and whoop his ass and then go back and steal the car. He's like, literally. Mind you, he didn't get out the car. It wasn't even like he was looking out.
He's in the getaway.
He's in the getaway car in the back seat with the doors closed, windows up.
Maybe
He's
he
not
thought
even,
he saw a shadow.
he's not even doing his fucking job.
DMX is here.
Man, so he annoyed me. So I'm getting frustrated, but I'm like, all right, I hang up the phone, right?
He just went back.
I did go back.
R.I.P. your brother.
I've been pissed off at him since.
That was spoken
Why does it sound
sense.
like a Kendrick Lamar video?
Hey,
This sounds like a Kendrick Lamar song.
Made it left, made it right. Tried to turn the key, something wasn't right.
You put the key in the ignition.
the key got stuck in the ignition.
Oh my god, bro.
I could not.
else can you take
I could not get the key out the ignition. And mind you, I'm back there jamming, and my cousin is calling me the fuck again. I'm back there, bro. You ever seen Gone in 60 Seconds? Nigga, I was there for 20 minutes. Completely.
20 minutes.
I'm trying to steal the car, right?
That's the worst part of that story.
Literally, I'm not a car thief. Self-checkout. If the car was in self-checkout, I would have had it.
Get out of there.
Wait, so now you just trying to get the key out?
Bro, I couldn't get the key out. I'm like, Denny is gonna be so mad if I get his car stolen and I also get his house key stolen. So I'm like, damn. So instead of leaving the key there, because we all starting to get a little nervous, and mind you, again, we in Long Beach, bro.
Call the cops.
I took the whole f***ing ignition. I pulled the ignition out because I'm like, F it, if I can't drive this car, nobody will.
I mean, so you take the ignition, you get back into the Jeep.
I get back in the car. I'm like, all right, f it, I'm gonna call the police again, cause so I had called the police before I actually stole the car, cause I was trying to get them to come out and get the car.
Right.
They wouldn't come out and get the car, so I was like, all right, f it, we really do have to steal the car now.
It's different police departments. So the Long
Exactly.
Beach Police Department is like, since it was stolen in downtown,
Right.
we don't have the jurisdiction or whatever to do anything.
Right.
But there's no way for him to file.
That's basically the night. Like, tried to steal the car back, couldn't get it back.
So you leave it
Yeah, we had to leave it.
and you go home.
Yeah, because we was waiting for the police, then they told us they wasn't gonna come. I go home, night ends, yep, and I have to tell Denny, so I have to tell Denny in the morning.
Okay. Now we come to you.
I think Herm had called. I think I woke up.
I text you.
But you had called me
First.
and I didn't answer.
Yeah.
I saw Herm call me.
You were awake when he called you.
I was asleep, but I woke up and I was like, why the fuck is Herm calling me this late?
Hey, since you don't like talking on the
And I
phone.
put the phone back down.
Yeah.
And then when I woke up, I saw a text from Herm being like, yo, Denny called me, bro. It's important. So now I'm kind of thinking like, why is he called me last night? Like, what is this? What do you want? He sent me a long voice memo.
You was with you literally
Yeah.
said, Herm, I'm with my family right now.
I can't talk right now.
Right, so I had to send him a voice memo, and I think you and all your family listened
Yes.
to the voice memo.
Okay,
Okay.
How long is the voice memo?
It was long enough for me to be like, oh, I gotta call him. Because I remember I was just walking into the gym. I saw a long voice memo. And you know now you can read
You can
it.
kinda
So
read it.
I saw something that said something about the car. So I'm like, oh, what happened with the car? So then I called like, bro, what's up? I see this long ass voice memo. Then he breaks down to me everything that happened.
Oh my God.
And it's hard to relive the emotions that it felt in that moment because I don't feel that way now. But at the time I was just in disbelief. I was like, what are you saying to me right now? I think I ended up telling you I couldn't talk right now.
Yeah, that was, you was just like, Herm, I need a second.
Yes.
I can't talk right now.
Yes.
I'll call you back.
So you're like,
He's
heated.
Yeah, but if your car got stolen and you
For
left
sure,
car,
for
you know what
sure,
I'm saying?
for
That's
sure.
why I was like, I'm gonna give you as much time as you
Right.
need.
And also in the moment, I know when you're at high stakes emotional moments, that's not the time to
yeah,
have
it's smart for you to be like, let me gather myself.
emotional maturity.
Yeah.
I'm probably the most emotionally mature person here.
You're definitely the most emotional.
I'm just saying.
Okay, second after
you know, if old Denny, I would have reacted right in that moment. So I took a moment to breathe, and I just.
Old Denny. Old Denny, out of it.
What the biggest thing I was more worried about was having to tell this to my mom, having to tell somebody. You know, the same way
Yeah.
her feeling like I got to tell her this car she gifted me got stolen. And then I'm just like, part of me, of course, wants somebody to be mad at. So I'm like, Herm, what the
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, why? And I'm walking back to my house, my family's there. I'm
Oh
trying to
my
have
goodness.
this
You don't want to be in a bad. You're way
exactly, and I have to have this discussion with my mom. And I'm just
And you're so, you know what makes it hard too? Is like, you're so far
yeah,
Right,
from LA.
you
It's
can't
like,
do anything.
you have no control.
yeah.
That was another thing.
You feel like powerless almost, you know?
So I don't know if I ended up talking to you that day.
Yes, because I was driving and Denny calls me and he's like, I gotta tell you something, man. I'm like, oh shit, like, is everything okay? He goes, yeah, like, who you with? I'm like, oh, it's me and Eileen, we're in the car. He goes, all right, I'll call you back. Calls me back like 2 minutes later. He's like, man, you gonna tell Eileen anyway, so I'm just gonna tell you. And he pretty much tells me the story, but you told it in a way that was like,
Y'all just never heard that part of it. All y'all heard was that I got Denny's car stolen. So y'all never knew the lengths I went back to try to get the car back.
No matter what the situation is,
Yeah.
you are a real one.
yeah, you really went above and beyond.
Yeah.
And it's easy to see both sides. It's easy to see how it wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
And you did everything you
And the
could.
stress that both of you guys was felt in that situation is so justified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so justified.
Herm is probably my only friend. If I had to list everybody and say who would get my car stolen, it would be Herm.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I would never truly was like, it's Herm's fault.
Right.
Herm is he fucking dumbass or what the f-? Like that was never
No.
how I came.
'Cause I
remember Kevin saying something.
Yeah, because you were, I just love that you were battling with this feeling because you're like, I can't blame Herm, but like, I don't know where to place this.
Mm-hmm.
And because you're so angry. And you know, we had to film like the next day or 2 days later. And he was kind of calling me to tell me like, hey, my energy might be kind of off that day because it's my first time being around Herm since this situation happened.
First and foremost, one of the first things Herm said was like, bro, whatever I can do to make this process easier, I'll pay for it. I know this is stressful, but I'm gonna be there however I can. He said all of it. So, you know, good on him for that. And honestly, the biggest help in that situation was my mom.
Yeah.
Because she was the first person when I was
gonna say that,
obviously really broken
his
up to
mom
tell
was
her, and
crying.
she was just like, I mean, and what really wasn't nothing he could do about that. Like, you shouldn't be mad at your friend for that. Like, that's a tough situation, but I'm sure he feels terrible.
Yeah.
And I was trying to be like, you should be mad at her about this.
Well, Mama Denzel said
she was just not.
Yeah, no, he told me to. When we talked on the phone, he was like, "Yo, I had a really good talk with my mom, and she kind of led me in this direction." But again, if you know Denny mom, you know she one of the sweetest, realest people. So
she loves her. From talking to my mom about this situation, I realized that she stopped paying the insurance on the car. I thought she was paying for the insurance. So come to find out she wasn't doing that. So I'm like, so the registration on the car was also behind. So I'm just like, so I can't even file a police report. It's
until you pay everything.
I gotta pay all it's bro. So I'm like, now I have to go to the DMV.
It made it
this
worse.
a whole another process.
And are you finding all this out while you're back in Minnesota?
While I'm in Minnesota, yeah. It's in her name. So it's now that's an issue. But now I have to switch the title over to myself. But I have to pay all that stuff I have to
pay. Before you can switch the title,
interest and everything.
All of that. And at this point, where's the car? The car's still.
The car's in the impound.
Okay, so you should take over.
I think I never did anything after that to try to get the car. I sent Denny all the money that I had. Yeah. That was it. You know what I'm saying? Like
So where's the car at this point?
The next morning they picked the car up and took it to the impound lot.
So the next morning the
police came and picked it up.
It was listed as abandoned.
It was listed as abandoned. Not stolen. Mind you, the window was broken.
The tire was flat, so I'm sure whoever stole it was like, I can't. But they moved it though, right?
No, it was in the same spot. They just parked it behind where they were staying at.
Now to get it out of the impound,
gotta put insurance on it.
Put insurance on it, register. So that's why you're having all these problems to get it back.
And mind you, a lot of the stuff I was having to do, something happened where I think my ID might have been in the car or something where I had to get a new ID. And then I found out that the my mailbox key was in the car.
Right.
That's when I was.
That got stolen.
Right.
So I'm like, why would you have this little mailbox key just loose? Put on the keychain. Now I got back. I'm like, I can't even get in my mailbox. It's a Saturday when I get back. My office building is not open until Monday, so I can't even get a new key. So now it's getting pushed back and back. And Herm had told me every day that your car is in the impound, it's charged. It was like $50.
It was 70 something.
But it ended up being 70.
It went higher.
So mind you, I was out of town, so I couldn't get back for a couple days. So by the time they already charge you a base fee to have
$500.
$500 base. And then $7 a day.
Yes.
So by the time I got back home and got all the stuff that I needed to get the car back, I think it was like $1,200 I owed them just to get the car back.
Right.
Mind you,
not to get it fixed.
No,
not to get it fixed, just to get it back.
So we got the pop tire, we got the, if you keep it track, pop tire,
broken
window, the whole panel of the car.
Ignition's gone.
The car.
The hot Cheetos are probably half eaten at that point.
Buzzballs going.
The only thing that was in the car when I got it was a damn a Gatorade. Apparently these niggas got quenched.
Hey, they were driving around all night. Nigga was like, we need electrolytes.
Everything was stripped. They even took the spare tire out the back.
Everything.
There was nothing left in the car. And this is when I start feeling more rage. Because I'm just like, this has been so
frustrating,
inconvenient and frustrating, and I know Herm is trying his best, but again, you still want somewhere to latch your anger. I'm just like, bro, Aaron came with me that day to get the car, and he did. Aaron makes everything lighter, so he made it very. We joked, we laughed.
Yeah, I remember because I was gonna take you too. I was like, what can I do? Because for me, I kept thinking like, even if you have all the money in the world. It's the inconvenience of dealing with it. It's like priceless.
But you handle your business though, bro.
So you're back at your house. You got the car back.
Now I'm frustrated, but I'm like, it really took some time to think about it, and I'm like, this is something that could really affect the friendship. I'm like, bro, Herm is such a real dude. He did everything in his power, and I knew at the time Herm was moving apartments, had a lot of stuff going on in his world. I'm like,
he put your life in danger too.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
But I'm just like having him have this weight of not only our friendship, but having this new financial burden of having to pay me back all his bread. I'm like, I don't think this is a healthy way for us to have a friendship. So I'm just like, bro, I can't operate in a space with my friend, or it's just gonna my friendship.
Yeah.
So I think we just had a long conversation.
Yeah, we did a long talk.
Yeah.
And we talked about the money. We talked about your mom.
Yeah.
So it was a good conversation for sure.
Because the irony was I was already planning on getting a new car.
Yes.
Probably some months later. But once that happened, I was just like, I thank God.
Yeah.
It couldn't have happened at a better time because I was straight financially. I was planning on getting a new car. So I ended up just being like, Herm, we're good.
What about it?
Remember there was a joke where we said if you told Herm like, hey, you owe me money, and then
you said that.
and I said if the video gets 100,000 likes, he'll pay you back the money.
Yeah.
But then you said in the Mean Tweets video that the debt's been cleared.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking, like, is this the debt you're referring to?
Yeah, the remaining balance on the car, I was like, because again, I know where Herm was with all he had going on.
I gave you about $500.
Yeah, he threw me some bread on the car. I'm like, it's because that was the biggest thing was like,
Right.
I understand he's trying to put forth
Right.
effort to make sure
Right.
he's wronging the said right.
Right.
And I'm like,
I don't want to
that
put you
doesn't
through that
matter.
stress.
I don't want you to be thinking about
Right.
this shit. Right now, we just focus on the friendship. All of that shit will get figured out, and we just squashed it and moved on.
Now look where we at.
Hey.
Second channel. My brother, you know I love you.
It got way worse than this, and I love you too. You would think that would be the end of the Kia saga.
There's
It
more.
was only the
Oh,
beginning.
it's the second part of the story.
This has been what I feel like almost like a first podcast episode.
It's good.
If you guys are enjoying these stories, drop a like. If we get 10,000 likes, we'll do part 2.
Here's a cliffhanger. That Kia got stolen 2 more times.